The transformation of the Alliance to restore the Republic from a scattered collection of independent rebel cells to a united and centralized coalition was a necessary but precarious development. With most of the Alliance's leadership now stationed in one location, a single strike at the right moment could potentially decapitate the entire rebellion. Secrecy was their greatest weapon, and the location of the Alliance's headquarters was safeguarded above every other consideration. In the aftermath of the destruction of the first Death Star and the evacuation of Yavin 4, rumors spread across the galaxy, and even within the Alliance itself, that the new headquarters was located on a distant asteroid, or even beneath the surface of some great ocean. The truth was far less glamorous. A bleak and crowded settlement beneath the glaciers of an Arctic wasteland, known to those assigned there as Echo Base. While the search for a new base of operations began almost immediately following the discovery of the rebel presence on Yavin 4, Imperial intelligence networks thwarted the Alliance's efforts. It took 3 years after the Battle of Yavin before a suitable candidate was selected, the remote world of Hoth. Located in the system of the same name, Hoth was a world covered entirely in tremendous ice sheets, which were barely capable of supporting life. An asteroid belt continually pelted its surface, but helped conceal Alliance starships and confused Imperial sensors. A network of natural caverns beneath the Clabburn mountain range provided an opportune site for an underground headquarters. These caverns were eventually expanded to suit the needs of the rebellion, and linked together by a labyrinth of artificial corridors. Upon completion, the newly designated Echo Base contained the necessary infrastructure to support the Rebel Alliance indefinitely. Several large hangars were situated across the base, housing multiple GR-75 transports and several squadrons of starfighters. These were not makeshift landing pads, but an almost fully equipped starport with an enormous liquid fuel reserve, prep bays, maintenance levels, and an extensive cargo storage bay. Hangars were protected from the elements by enormous blast doors, sealed shut each night as temperatures dropped below -60 degrees. Comprehensive medical facilities tended to soldiers wounded in various fronts across the galaxy, while the upper leadership of the rebellion itself made use of a command and control station deep in the heart of Echo Base. To defend against orbital bombardment, Echo Base made use of a V-150 ion cannon and a massive deflector shield. The cannon's spherical turret and accompanying shield generator were the largest structures visible above the surface of Hoth, and the only clue to the true scale of the base that lay beneath. Other smaller defenses included a network of trenches carved into the surrounding glacier and dotted occasionally with various surface emplacements. Several dedicated outposts and sentry points were attached to this network, housing reconnaissance elements and communication stations. While ingenious in its design, the facility was also intended to be evacuated at a moment's notice. It was hastily constructed, and faults in its electrical systems could leave sections of the base without power or heat. Additionally, not all the natural caverns beneath the Clabburn Range had been fully surveyed, and a species of native predator known as a wampa would occasionally enter Echo Base during the night. Spacious quarters were granted only to the highest officers, and most troops assigned to Echo Base slept in enormous bunkers with several hundred others. Rations were often scarce, and Hoth's extreme conditions put considerable strain on the base's garrison. Every effort was made to conceal the location of Echo Base. Starships en route were sent on a random path through hyperspace to thwart any pursuit, while information surrounding the facility was largely withheld. Despite these precautions, only 1 month after Echo Base had become fully operational, an Imperial Viper probe droid landed on the surface of Hoth and began transmitting images of the exposed shield generator. When Imperial forces arrived in orbit, code K-10, the emergency protocol ordering the immediate evacuation of the base, was put into effect. Despite the heroic sacrifice of hundreds of rebel soldiers, Imperial forces quickly overran the defenses surrounding Echo Base and rapidly entered the facility itself. The Alliance had achieved a miraculous escape in the short window available to them, however, and those captured were limited to low-level personnel. In the months and years that followed, scavengers arrived on Hoth to pick apart what remained of the facility and whatever equipment the victorious Imperials had left behind. Few within the rebellion would miss the frigid conditions of Echo Base, but there remained a sense of pride in the idea that this single bastion of defiance held off the might of the Galactic Empire for one brief but critical moment. In Atlas, the Templin Institute investigates the most storied places from across alternate worlds. If you have a suggestion for a future episode, let us know in the comments section, and if you'd like to support us directly, a link to our Patreon can be found in the description.